We are here at Hyundai Motor India's manufacturing facility on the outskirts of Chennai, where the all-new Verna has already started rolling off the assembly line. And it's going to be launched shortly, and we are here to take a close look at it and get to drive it a bit. But we are not allowed to shoot the car or show you what we've driven. So here's what we know about the new Verna now. The all-new Verna is built on an all-new platform. It's called the K2 platform, and it is packing a lot of high-strength steel. It has a new design, new floor parts which help make the car a lot safer in terms of a crash. Now this platform also has made the Verna larger. It's longer overall, it has a longer wheelbase, it's wider, and that promises a lot on the inside as well. In terms of design, the Verna that we get in India is closer to the Russia spec car, which is to say that the headlamp design doesn't have that cracked edge at the bottom. Now when you get inside the Verna, you'll find plastics and materials and the fit and finish to be what we've come to expect from Hyundai. But overall, in terms of the design, the dash doesn't wow you all that much. The design is something that, well, we have seen on Hyundais before. It's fairly simple, it's strong, but it doesn't go outright and wow you. What will wow you though is the feature list. The Hyundai Verna is just absolutely packed. You have perforated leather seats along with cooling for the front seats. Then on top of that, you have a manually operated blind for the rear windscreen. You have a cleaning filter on the aircon, which is meant to actually, it's a coating for the air conditioning system which cuts out odor from the outside. And that aside, of course, you get that 7-inch touchscreen display which has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. It also has a functionality by which you can use your phone as a remote for the system. And overall, this just feels like an incredibly loaded package. And let's not forget that it also has an electrically operated sunroof. As before, the Verna packs 6 airbags, it has rear parking sensors. What's cool is it also now gets this hands-free boot opening feature. You wave your leg at the bottom under the boot and it'll open. It's tricky, but yeah, it's there now. Now, it's when you step into the rear that the Verna springs a bit of a surprise, and not entirely the kind you'd expect. Because we found the rear seat to be a bit cramped. We would have expected leg space to be more since the wheelbase has opened up more and the car is longer overall as well. That aside, the headroom for 6-footers will be a bit tight, and honestly sitting 3 abreast would be a bit tight as well. The good thing though is the seats overall, whether the front or the back, have good cushioning, are generous, especially in the front, and would be comfortable even for bigger passengers. Now when it comes to the engines, Hyundai is carrying over their bigger engines from the older Verna onto this car, which means you've got the 1.6 petrol with variable valve timing and the 1.6-litre diesel with a variable geometry turbo. Now in terms of power figures, the petrol has 123 PS and the diesel has 128 PS, which is identical as before. But when it comes to the torque, things are a bit different. Hyundai has told us that the diesel now makes 245 Newton meters at 1250 RPM, at which point the engine in the older spec made 176 Newton meters. That's a big jump. And when it comes to the petrol now makes about 150 Newton meters at 1500 RPM, whereas in the earlier spec, it was at about 133. Now both these engines are offered with 6-speed manual gearboxes, and the auto gearboxes have been upgraded in the interest of course, better efficiency and better performance, because these now are 6-speed torque converter automatic gearboxes, whereas the earlier ones were 4 speeds. So what's the Verna like to drive? Now we got a quick drive, and the good thing is that the manual gearbox shifts really nicely. It's a short throw, feels light, feels precise, so good to use the gearbox. The good thing is you won't have to use it all that much. You can sit around in 3rd gear between 20 and 30 kilometers, amble around, put your foot down, and you'll find that you get a very steady and predictable flow of torque, which will make it easy to drive in the city. Put it down flat and you'll find there's just a slight surge under 2000 RPM. Overall, really very manageable power, very un-diesel-like in many ways. Overall refinement levels and smoothness is impressive. You do hear a little bit of the diesel rumble at startup and when you go on the gas suddenly, but on the whole, this is a refined diesel engine still. Now the automatic gearbox, left to its own devices, it was shifting up and down fairly smoothly, quickly. It's not the most sporty gearbox, but for commuting and driving around reasonably quickly also, it should do quite well. Now a really pleasant surprise when we were driving around was this Hyundai steering felt light. Yes, that's predictable. What was not predictable was it was light and consistent and had feel. That is a good step up from any Hyundai we've driven before. And along with that, the suspension setup felt on the softer side. At the same time, it didn't feel nervous or unpredictable. You could steer it where you wanted it to go. We expect the new Verna to offer good ride quality over Indian roads and at the same time improve its high-speed stability. Now the Hyundai's Verna has solid competition ahead of it. The Honda City has just been facelifted. It's just brimming with appeal, tech and just the wow factor that Honda carries. The Maruti Suzuki Ciaz, it's a very sensible package and is due for a facelift quite soon. On the whole, the Verna is bringing a little added dash of drama to this segment with its design, and definitely the features give it that wow factor as well.